Not get any music. Hello, everybody. Hold on. I gotta get our music. We can't not have our music.
There we go.
There we go. We are live, everyone. Welcome to this episode of PEPTalk, Productive Environment Podcast. I am Andrea Anderson, CEO of Productive Environment Institute. I'm here in Carolina Beach, North Carolina, joined by Barbara. And Barbara, you'll have to tell them where you are.
Yes,
Not
I'm
home.
normally not home today. I'm sitting in the parking lot in Concord, North Carolina, outside the convention center. I was going to do it inside, and people kept coming up and talking to me, so I came out to the car.
Wow. We always love to play this game of Where's Barbara? So there she is, sitting in a parking lot. But we're super excited about our guest today. And we're having some technical difficulties with her camera. So you're just going to have to look at her face on the screen, our picture here. And just as she's talking, we do have audio. And so that is, we'll take what we can get. And we're just so thrilled to have Nancy with us. So today's episode is called Organized and Empowered, How Nancy Found Her Flow. And I just love that because Nancy is flowing. So Nancy, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell them your name, your full name, what you do, where you are. And then I'll just jump in and start asking you some questions after that. So
sounds good. Hi, everybody. Nancy Reimer-Wood. That's my full name. I live in California, in Central California, between Visalia in the San Joaquin Valley and Three Rivers, California, at the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, right next to Sequoia National Park. And I'm sorry I can't get my camera to work, but that'll tell you my level of expertise in computers.
Hey, you've come a long way, though, Nancy. You've come a long way.
I've come a long way, and I appreciate so much Andrea and Barbara, and I've been trying to introduce family and friends to the program and how to organize. And it's just been such a wonderful thing for me to start doing things that I haven't been able to do in some things decades, that I haven't been able to go through things and let things go and continue on with my life. Yeah. So I'm thrilled with the program. I'm thrilled to be sharing it with you. And I hope that things that I say might encourage someone else to get organized with their things.
I believe so. You are definitely a role model. You are leading the way. And I would love it if you would just take us back to, tell a little bit about your background first, because you were in business for a really long time, and you've got stuff, you've got paper, you've got other stuff from your business, from your life. Tell us all about that piece, and then I'll dive into how we connected.
Okay, I owned a candy store, candy, ice cream. We made our own chocolates and ice cream, and had a gift shop, which means lots of stuff, in Three Rivers at Sequoia National Park. So I did that for almost 30 years. Wow. So I was very involved in that business. It was successful. It still is successful. We've sold it, and my late husband and I, he made the candy, and now I'm continuing on with a new life with my husband, Harry. And I have managed to collect lots of things. I was also a nurse at one time in my life, and I'm on the hospice board of Kauai Health Hospice Foundation board for Visalia, California, and Tulare County. And doing all these roles and all these things, I have found out that I know it about myself, and I think I've met lots of people that are the same way. I've collected. I had a vacation rental in Three Rivers, and it had, in the back of the studio, had a 5-car garage. When I sold the candy store, that 5-car garage was filled with stuff. And that was memorabilia, that was items, gifts from the store, things that I said, well, they didn't sell. I'll take them home and I'll do it. I like them. Anyway, I had to kind of quickly sell that property because I knew I just couldn't move forward. It was just too difficult to run the vacation rental, try to run my house. I had 2 vacation rentals at the time, and I learned how to use the computer, and I did that for the vacation rentals, and it just got everything was piling up in the garages, and on my computer. I didn't know how to handle it, and I kept looking online for some kind of organizational. Well, I did Marie Kondo, but I think other people have said that everything sparked joy for me. I didn't want to get rid of anything. So that happened, and I said, oh, I need to do something. And so I looked online, and I saw Barbara on a YouTube video. And I said, ooh, this makes sense. This is a little different approach. Maybe I can do something here. And so I just started watching the Productive Environment Institute. Anything that you produced on YouTube is the thing I could get into. And then I actually contacted Andrea and Barbara and took my first kind of a boot camp, a computer boot camp, to try to clean up my drives and to do things. And slowly but surely, that was last fall, and slowly but surely I went by what they said, and it's working. It was scary. I have to say it was scary. And I talked to other people about what I was doing, and I don't think I've ever met one of my friends or people that I've talked to about what I'm doing, and they said, oh, I need that. So I finally started feeling and talking in our groups. We have a group online that I hadn't done before, and slowly realizing that everybody's kind of in the same boat. It wasn't just me. I'm not crazy. I'm not the most cluttered person, and I'm not the cleanest person in the world. My husband Harry is very organized, but I'm not terrible. But at least I was learning how to handle it and what to do and take little teeny steps. And all I do is just look from, one step after another. And you've coached me. And I just appreciate the camaraderie of everybody else doing it. And I'm actually in the process of, I went through 4 huge boxes of memorabilia from the candy store that we're having a family reunion, a Reimer family reunion, the 1st of May. And I've gone through that many boxes of things and had to throw things out and save things and put them in a little pamphlet for each one of the kids and grandkids. So there's like 22 of things I'm doing, but I was able to do it, and I hadn't been able to do that in decades. And so I'm thrilled. Yeah. And that's my journey. And then doing the same thing online, the same thing in my computer. I didn't even know what a drive was. And now I'm looking at them and figuring it out, and how to organize email. I mean, I didn't have hundreds of thousands, which a lot of people have, that I found out, but I had thousands. And I'm using a tool that they suggested called Maelstrom. And anyway, it's just been a process. And then kind of, I'm not a youngster, I'm 76. And to learn all this computer stuff has been a challenge. But I'm doing it, and I'm learning it, and it's helping. And I think that if I can do it, really, I think anybody can do it. And again, like I said, whenever I've told friends and family about what I'm doing, it seems like everybody has responded in a positive way, that they have things they would like to let go of and can't let go of emotionally. Lots of.
Well, I would like to invite all of your friends and family to join us, Nancy.
They are. I think I sent a link to them. Who knows? I thought I did it, but
well, make sure they see this or listen to this, even though you're not on here, your face, but make sure you send this to your people, because we will welcome them with open arms. And my mom is in business with us. My mom, she was my first test client when I first got certified in Barbara's methodology. Oh gosh, 19 years ago. And my mom is actually in the green room in the background here of this podcast. So, and she's 83. So
yay, Mom.
Yeah, yay, Mom. So you guys, no matter what your age is, I mean, we have people that are teenagers that are learning these systems as well. So and all the way up. So absolutely. I want to just share briefly, Nancy. Carrie Thomas says, so proud of you, Nancy. Carrie's one of our certified productive environment specialists, and I know you're working with her too. And and so all of that, it's so funny because I had forgotten. That's why I love doing these pep talks. I'm so excited that you are our guest, because you're usually on the other side of this and you're commenting. You're very participatory in our podcast, and you're the one commenting, and you're out there watching. And I had forgotten that you actually found us through YouTube, through watching Barbara on YouTube.
That's it.
And so that is so amazing. That really is awesome. And we actually got to see you in person because you came to our retreat in Carolina Beach, North Carolina in December. So
it's wonderful.
Yeah, you went from watching us on YouTube to hanging out with us here at the beach.
Oh, it was so funny.
With your husband.
With my husband Harry, he came along too. It was great. He loved it, and he could see me watching me online and doing these classes that I'd never done Zoom classes before, anything like this. And he said, "Yeah, you are getting something, And I'm starting to clean. I'm starting to do stuff." But when we got to North Carolina, I felt like I was maybe about 11 or 12 years old, adolescence, pre-adolescence, somewhere in there. I saw Andrea the first time and I was starstruck. I couldn't believe it, jumping up and then Barbara walked around the corner and I went, oh no, I just can't do this. My heart won't take it.
I had just told Demetrius, I said, if she react, because I'm not used to that. Like Barbara's the star, so when you were starstruck when you saw me, I just thought it was so sweet. And I said, well, if she reacted that way with me, I was like, what is she going to do when Barbara walks down? And Barbara came in from the elevator, and you almost passed out.
It's true. I do get my family. I get very excited, and it was and Barbara was very cool. She was very nice. She went and talked to other people because I couldn't talk. So she was. I finally got
Nancy, I just want to comment. I want to go back to your saying that you had the candy store for 30 years and the candy store still exists. So it's really a legacy that you left. But what I want to point out is how many people in the world there are that left a legacy of some kind. They were teachers, they put things in places, they were coaches, they had businesses or whatever, and then they reach a point in their life when it's the second half of their life, whatever it is, and then they miss the opportunity to leave a legacy. And often it's because of the clutter that was left over from the first legacy. I mean, we see this over and over again because the people who join us are the most creative, intelligent people. They are people who've done things, accomplished things. Somebody said one time, not too long ago, I remember saying, my problem is I just like too many things and too many people. Well, that's true in a way, but it's also your strength. And it's also the reason that it's so powerful that you are leaving your second legacy now, and you're showing people that your age is not a stopping block for what you do. There's a new book coming out, and I don't remember the author. My daughter actually asked me to order it for her, and it's called I Can Do Hard Things. And I love the title. I can't wait to read the book, but I think what a powerful, and every once in a while, when I try to do something, usually technology, Nancy, because do I understand? I mean, Andrea and Ed's, what they put up with me with technology is unbelievable. And now when there's something that I'm struggling with, and lots of times, like today, I don't think it's anything you're doing. I think it's something with technology. But I keep saying, I can do hard things, and you have done and are doing hard things. And you are to be congratulated for that. And you're moving through the emotion. And I think that's the thing that people really don't understand, that there is emotion, but you don't get stuck in the emotion. You have to go through that emotion, and you do, and you get on the other side, and then it really empowers you, which is why Andrea picked Organized and Empowered as the title.
It's really true. It's so true. And I remember you saying early on that something about when it's difficult, there were a lot of emotional things to go through. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who've lost their spouses, and going through things that we did together, that we had together, and having to let go. It's not easy stuff. And you had said you need to go through the emotions to get to the other side. And I certainly found that to be true with grief. And this is it's kind of like another kind of grief that, you feel it, and it's, you have to go through it. And I'm just getting to the point that I'm starting to see, I've been plodding along all these months, And I knew I was making progress, but it's kind of, it's slow and it takes me too long to decide to let go of things sometimes. And then I do it and it's good. And I look back and it's fine. But it's like you keep walking on a trail and then all of a sudden you see the vista or the panorama, and it's amazing. It's all of a sudden it's freeing. You had told me at the beginning that you can't really tell what you're going to do or how you're going to feel. You have to kind of get rid of the clutter, get out from underneath it, and then there is some clarity. You start seeing a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, because before all I saw was tunnel. It was so much to do. And I'm starting to see, and it all of a sudden you feel like, ooh, maybe I can do this. This is really good. And I didn't think I could ever do it, but I'm doing it. And
So I have a question for you, Nancy, which is, one of the things we always talk about is that what empowers you to go through this is your vision. What is the vision? So what are some of the things, and we always start out with, organizing in and of itself has no value. You're organizing for a reason. So what are some of the reasons that have motivated you to keep going even when the going gets tough?
I think because I was stuck for so long, my vision was I don't want to look at any more boxes of stuff. I want to know where things are if I'm going to keep them, and the filing system that Barbara and Andrea use, that they teach you, helps you to be able to find things again. So it wasn't as scary, like I'm not losing things as much. But I wanted to be able to not only find things, I want to not leave a mess for the kids and the grandkids. I mean, I remember when my husband passed away, the things that I knew that we wanted to keep, it was much easier when you don't know and someone hasn't told you, just go ahead and let it go. It's so much. Talk about a legacy. I don't want to leave a legacy that they have to plow through a mess that, then whatever feelings they have towards me get clouded in this job that they have to do. So a big one was making it easier for the kids. Another one is I want to get back to weaving and spinning and dyeing and all these things that I like to do, card making, and be with my friends. And it seems like I've been spending forever just getting things cleaned out. And I'm sure they would tell you the same thing. Oh, are you still cleaning out your garage? That's been going on for a long time, hasn't it? Yes, it has been going on. But to actually get beyond that, and I have to say that space that's occurring, it's joyful, and it's actually because of the way I process it. It is a little bit slow, but it's allowing me to slowly adjust to that extra time, extra space, whatever I'm going to have. And that vision of walking in to my home and feeling calm and knowing and just have enough that I can be stimulated for creative things, for having friends over, for all the things. We're having a family reunion on May 1st, and I'm not finished, but I'm proud that I can bring them in and feel relaxed and joyful with them and share some things with them that I wouldn't have been able to share had I not worked on it. I just wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have had fun.
Well, and you will inspire them, because probably most of them have that too. I mean, everybody, I don't care who it is, everybody has some of that somewhere. I mean, look at me. I've been in the industry for 46 years. And now I'm upstairs in my attic going through the memorabilia of my business for the last 40 years. And one of the things, Nancy, that has enabled you to do that is the community within our group, our SOAR group. I mean, that's not doing it alone. And I literally hired someone to come with me, and she wasn't even a professional she wasn't a professional organizing consultant, but I just said, I want someone to sit with me. And what would have been a really horrible thing, I'm not sure I even could have done it, has become pleasant because I've been able to tell her the stories. And now I'm actually doing videos about the things that I learned. So you just never know what's going to happen when you go through all that. And you're being a role model for other people, and your children and grandchildren will be blessed by not leaving a mess, because I cannot tell you the hours and hours in 40 plus years that I have sat with clients who were grieving someone they loved dearly, but also furious that they had to deal with such a mess. And so it's really, and one thing that, you can do is, and I think everybody can do this, is to say to the left people, I'm doing the best I can with this, and I'm trying not to leave you a mess. But I just want you to know that when I'm gone, whatever you do with it is fine. And that is such a gift. And I think about that because of my father. I grew up on a farm. They were very poor. And my father he wasn't by the time he died, but he was when he was young. And there were junk piles all over the farm because he was always fixing something with baling wire and whatever. And after he died, my brother was trying to clean up the farm. And he said to me, "Oh, sis, this is so hard because every time I throw something away, I think Daddy wouldn't have done that." And if Daddy had said to my brother, "Whatever you do is fine," it would have been such a gift. So I've said that to all my kids. And in fact, there's one cabinet that of files that I'm actually using now, but it says on the outside, "When Barbara's gone, trash it," as opposed to the file that has the purple files in it, which is, "If I die, this is what you need to know. This is the funeral arrangements," and all those kinds of things, so that the kids know that they don't have to go through it all.
Yeah. That is truly a gift. I want to share a couple of comments here because Barbara mentioned the community, and Nancy has a whole cheering section over here.
Oh, thank you guys.
I want to share. So let's see. Tony says Nancy found her wings and is soaring. That's right. Our program is called SOAR, Systemize and Organize with Action and Reference. So Nancy is soaring. Terry says it was delightful to meet you and Harry. So Terry and Tony are both new certified productive environment specialists, and they got to meet you in person in Carolina Beach as well. They traveled here.
They have soared ahead. They're doing wonderful things.
They are amazing. And then Pam is a SOAR member, and when she's responding to when I said I'm not used to being the people being starstruck over me, she said, "You are both rock stars." Thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. I accept that.
They are.
And then we've got Mitzi. Oh my gosh, Mitzi.
Oh, Mitzi.
Yes.
She's one of our speakers at the retreat. And she's wonderful.
Definitely. We have a podcast with Mitzi as well. We need to have her back because it was so good. Awesomeness, Nancy. Meeting you in North Carolina was and is a lifetime connection. Amen. Yes. And then Tony says again, it was a blessing to meet Nancy and Harry at the PEI retreat. What a testimony to determination. And they are they're voted the cutest couple because Nancy and Harry are just precious. Like, we'll be on our Zoom meetings for our SOAR. Like, we have our SOAR co-working sessions where we actually get work done together. And Nancy, you'll be there sitting there at the computer with us. And I don't know that there's a day, a co-working session that has gone by without him coming in and giving you a kiss on your cheek at some point. Like, that is just, I wish you could be on camera so we could see it today.
He would wave, I told Barbara and Andrea, I did take a shower this morning. This is not just trying to get out of having my picture taken.
We're gonna have you back on for a part 2. Tony says together we are better, and then we've got some little hearts here from Ed's. And let's see, Pam, you get to go at your own pace, Nancy, and everyone else. That's when you were talking about, sometimes we feel like it takes forever, but every single day or every single week you're doing something little, it adds up. It adds up over time. And I want to come back to that point in just a second. Let me just finish this up. You're an inspiration, Nancy. And then Chantel says, "Oh, that's beautiful. Accountability is needed when doing organizing. I call them productivity partnerships." I love that, Chantel. Productivity partnerships. That sums it up right there. And that's really what SOAR is, that we work together and do this work. So I want to ask Nancy, because you said you've been at this for a while, and you found us on YouTube. You were looking for a solution. You were looking for something. I think we've lost Barbara, but maybe she'll be able to pop back on. Must be the internet issue. But so if you had not found us or had not started, having a team of people working with you and continuing, and not just you, but other clients that are feeling the same way as you, they thought they were the only ones. You thought you were the only one that had all this. So how do you feel the community has been and just having the support? And do you think you would have made the progress you've made if you had tried to do it on your own?
I don't think so. I really don't. Because I've been trying to do it on my own for many years.
Mm-hmm.
You start and you kind of get buried in your own stuff and you're thinking, and this is too hard, I won't be able to do it. But being with other people, there's some that in Northern California here that have a ranch and a real estate business, and they have had so much stuff to go through. They are truly an inspiration to me. And seeing what they were doing, some single women that are just going through decades of family business records, to be with the community of people that encourage each other, and the questions that are asked when we have our SOAR meetings and people ask questions, and I realize that sometimes they're so advanced I don't know what they're doing, and but it gets explained if I ask. But then other times they're asking exactly what I wanted to ask. And
Yeah.
we keep kind of edging each other on. It's just, the group, the community. And I always come back. Now I'm calling them barbarisms, because things
Yeah.
that Barbara said kind of go through my head. Okay, it's not only that I have to clean up, it's that I have to enjoy my life too. And that's a wonderful part of it. But the other thing is, together we're better. And I think we all know that whenever we have a job to do, many hands makes the work light. So it's a wonderful community. I'm very, very appreciative and
Yeah.
feel very blessed to have met all of you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you are our poster child, because you do attend, you come to everything that you're able to come to. You are a full participant. And I think that's really important. I mean, everybody's busy and has schedules and things, but when you're able to be there, you absolutely show up. And that is more than half the battle is showing up. And that is you. So you are truly an inspiration and a role model to our whole group. So we just love having you as part of our team. So what advice do you have for people that are listening that maybe are where you were a year or so ago, thinking about getting help and starting, trying to start this process and reaching out and getting help? What advice do you have for them?
Well, of course, I have my own perspective of that, and that is, I just kept looking on the internet, and then when I found PEI, Productive Environment Institute, and Barbara and Andrea, I just started watching and say, okay, what are they talking about? How does that apply to me? Is this something that I might be able to do? I became a little more intrigued, a little more, and finally, it was kind of a big step to actually join you and do it, because it does cost money, but I know the amount of money and time and effort that I have wasted over the years, and to finally be able to get it to really be able to step forward and get it done it's such a gift. You need to give it to yourself and your family, if nothing else, just to relieve yourself of you don't really know sometimes maybe how much it weighs you down until you start letting go of stuff, and that little lightness of spirit, it's kind of a little surprise, and then another surprise, and then it snowballs into something very good. And it's because of the community, and just do it for yourself, do it for your family.
Yeah.
Everybody knows their own thing. If they're buried in stuff, and it.
That's right. That's right. A great place to start, guys, if you're watching us new for the first time, is you can go to lesscluttermorelife.com. There is a short training there. It's free. You can go check that out. That's a really good starting point for you. So lesscluttermorelife.com, that's a great place to start. And it's kind of probably similar to where Nancy started in the beginning, just kind of a little introduction to us working together. And just also it can illuminate things for you. If a lot of times, Barbara, this as well, a lot of times people blame themselves for being, having too much stuff and having too much clutter, and not being, I should be able to do this. I don't need to ask for help because I should be able to do this myself. Barbara, what do you have to say to those people as we wrap up today? Oh, there's no audio. We can't hear you. Let's try that again.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
My computer got too hot and shut down, so I had to come back in with my phone. So clutter is postponed decisions, is what this whole process has been based on. But it's interesting, if you look when people quote us, they often add an adverb, and they will say clutter is simply postponed decisions, or only postponed decisions, or something like that. And then that makes you feel badly, and then people get discouraged. But I just walked into this big room, and this one person walked up and said, everybody needs what you have, because I think we all have clutter. And the question is, what do you want to have instead? And Nancy's done a beautiful job of saying there's more to life. This isn't an expense. This is an investment in my life and the lives of my family.
That's right. Amen. Well done. Well done, Nancy. I would love to have you back. We'll get you back when we have the video, but the words you shared today, I know have touched people's hearts. So thank you. I'm going to give you the last word, Nancy. What would you like to say to end us today?
I get the last word. Do I get to tell my husband that?
Anytime you get the last word.
Okay. I just would say it's a wonderful adventure. It's a great thing to be able to look at your stuff and let go of some things, and then you see what's really valuable to you. To go through that exercise of recognizing what is of value, and to do that for yourself and your family, it's a great gift. And I wish you the best, really.
Amen. Amen. I have one more comment, so Pam gets the last word. Pam says, I feel blessed to be in the PEI community as well. I had to throw that one in there.
Yes.
Yes, you still absolutely have the last word, Nancy. So Nancy, the way this works, I'm going to end the stream. So guys, we will see you on the next the next Pep Talk podcast. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, but Nancy, hang out for just a second so we can say our goodbyes. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you everybody for joining us. Make sure you go to lesscluttermorelife.com, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.